This is how to remove a rounded out lug nut with our GripEdge RPT Socket Extractor. The first step is pick out your size. So on this Ford F-250, they use 21mm lugs. So we're going to start with the 21mm socket extractor. They are built to be hammered on and they are straight cut and non-tapered. Once you get this hammered on, then you can grab your breaker bar or you can grab an impact gun. So we're going to start with the breaker bar here and we finally break this lug nut loose. And once we get this fully out of here, we have a method to get this lug nut off of the extractor as well. So since this lug nut is actually a nut, you're going to thread it back on lightly to that stud. And then you're going to grab our foreign object removal rod, tighten it down, and this will actually push against the stud there, pushing the nut right off of the extractor. And then you could just loosen it up. But if it was a solid lug, you would not need to do this. It's just if there's a hole in the middle, the pusher rod wouldn't have anything to push off of. So that's why you need to thread it back down onto the stud so it can push off of the stud. Then you put a socket on there and a ratchet, tighten it all the way down, and it will push the extractor right off of there. So that is how to remove a rounded out lug nut. But now let's say you're in the field and you do not have a direct replacement available and you need to change this tire out. Now we're going to show you how you could reuse this lug nut with our socket extractor. Online, the recommended torque spec for a Ford F-250 lug nut is 165 foot-pounds. So we're going to be using this torque wrench here to reach that and make sure we get it accurately. It is capable of much more than that, which we will go to push. But now we're about to approach that 165 foot-pounds, and we got it to around 167. But once we reach that, I wanted to see what we could do with this extractor. So we're going to tighten it down to over 250 foot-pounds. I didn't want to break this lug nut or damage the threads on here, so I didn't push it more. We don't recommend reusing fasteners, but if you have no other options, this socket extractor gives you a great opportunity to get back on the road. And then obviously when you get the chance, replace it with a brand new fastener. And once you get it torqued down to what you need, then you would grab the foreign object removal rod and push it right off of there. But this extractor is also impact rated, so we're going to loosen it up after applying it to over 250 foot-pounds. Since this extractor is straight cut and non-tapered, it does not chew the lug nut up. It just cuts its own grooves into it, and it works on 100% rounded fasteners. It comes with a lifetime warranty, and we have a whole line of socket extractors on our website.